Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to thank you for being here today. It is Thursday, June 11th, 2026. And I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to come on here. Be sure you comment when you come on, say hello. And if you want, you can say where you're watching from. All right, we've got some exciting news from Stampin' Up! Today. For the next 3 days, we've got an awesome thing going on. I'm going to let you know about that in just a moment when I get started. All right, so let's go ahead and start that housekeeping things. Oh, I didn't introduce myself yet. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And if you're not working with a demonstrator to shop with, I would like to earn your business. You can shop with me at that website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And now is the perfect time to do some shopping. I'm going to let you know about that in just a second. All right. Let's get started here. And that awesome announcement is from June 11th, which is today, through the 13th, which is Saturday, 3 days only. On any order of $75 or more, you're going to get free shipping. So that's a big savings there. Shipping costs have gone up this past year. So wherever we can save a little bit, not pay shipping, it always helps us. I always like that. Okay, but you guys spend $75. That's before tax, and you'll get free shipping. And we've got lots of good things out there to put on that order. I never have a problem putting in orders. It's the problem of keeping money in my wallet. All right, so next we've got Paper Pumpkin. And this is a brand new quarter that we're starting on these. Let me get my things out here. This is a July Paper Pumpkin kit, and you've got it started today. You can subscribe, and you've got until July 10th before it expires that you have to have that chosen before then to get it. It says, hooray for birthdays. It says, say happy birthday with stand-up easel cards, perfect for showing off. And that's something different. I've never seen a Paper Pumpkin kit before. We're going to be making some easel cards. Those are always fun. And it says it makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, holographic foil accents, pre-cut paper pieces, and printed stickers. The Stampin' Spot that goes along with this is going to be one of our new in colors, Timid Tiger. I guess that was last year's Timid in colors was a Timid Tiger. But the coordinating colors they'll go with is basic black, darning duckling, hydrangea hue, melon mambo, old olive, and then of course the Timid Tiger, the Stampin' Spot that you get. It says 2-step flower stamps let you build multicolored blooms. And as you can see on there, it has easel style cards stand up to display. All right, and then along with that, you can also add on the dies that go with the next 3 months, which will be July, August, and September. And the item number on these are 168664, and they're called the Detailed Flora Dies add-on. And the price is $13. But you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get these dies. So you might want to subscribe to the July Paper Pumpkin kit and add that on with it. Okay. All right. And the rest of the stuff I'm going to have to turn my camera around because I couldn't get it to download into my computer very well. So we're going to go ahead and switch cameras right now, and I'll show you my desktop. And I'm hoping the lighting is good on there. Okay, the product of the month is brand new. It just started for June. Is called Wild Bunch. I don't know if this is showing a very good picture. This might show a little bit better. Yeah. That's the product of the month. And with your order of $75, which you've got free shipping on that $75, it's a good time to add on this $5 stamp set to go along with that. It is cute critters with sketched outlines and watercolor designs, and they're called the Wild Bunch stamp. It's got 14 stamps. Okay, get it before it's gone. So like I said, it's only $5 with a $75 order. You can add that on. Very cute. It's got, I even like the sentiments in it. Besides the critters are really cute. We've got a cow, a snail, and a, is that a koala bear maybe? And then a little penguin over here. And then it's got a sample card that they made with it. It's really cute. And the sentiments on there say, happy birthday, thank you for all you do. Hi, friend, sending love, just a note. And it's got a little heart and some flowers and a little birthday hat and a present. And I'm not sure what this is. Kind of looks like a checkerboard design. I'm not sure what you call that. Okay, and I'm thinking the product of the month for May is still available. And that was the Berry Botanical Vellum 12 by 12 paper. I'm pretty sure it's still available. All right. Let's see if I have any other paperwork we have to go over. I think that's all. And of course, I want to welcome you today. And I want to invite you to join my team. What that is, you pay $99 for your starter kit. And you get free shipping on that. And you choose $125 worth of products to go with that. So instead of having only $99 worth of products, you're getting $125 worth. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. That also, the link for that is in my description of the video also, so I won't go into a lot of details. All right, so let me take this off of the screen. And also, if you're watching me on my YouTube channel, be sure you click that like and subscribe button, and also click that little bell to be notified when I go live. I would love for you to follow me either on Facebook or on YouTube. Let's get started here. I think I've got all the housekeeping things taken care of. So we're going to be doing 3 cards today, and I'm going to be using the Fern Flora Suite products for all 3 projects today. We're going to stick to the same theme on it. And let me get my bits and pieces out of this one. And then we'll show you the card. It's a little fun fold. Let me get my instructions off of there. So it says, you're an amazing friend. And then you open it like this. And thankful for you on the inside. And you could put another layer of white behind here if you wanted more room to write with. But I left that up to y'all to decide. All right, so it's a little, kind of a Z fold a little bit. All right, just thought of something I forgot to do. Now I forgot again. All right, maybe it'll come back to me in a minute. Let me bring up the comments here. And I'm going to take that like and subscribe off too, so we have more space here to show the products. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is going to measure 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. All right. Okay, didn't look right to me. I thought I shortened it. 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then we're going to score it at 1 1/4 inch and 4 1/4 inches. And I've already done that, so I'm just going to burnish my fold lines. My bone folder. I forgot to mute my phone, sorry. Let me bring my comments up here so I can watch those also. So it's going to be this orientation. You'll have the small flap on the left side opening. And then next we have our designer series paper that we're using is going to be the Moonlit Flora design paper. I'm just going to bring my cheat sheet out here to show. I'm going to be using these patterns right here, the front and the back side. and also these two right here. Back and my packaging. Get that out of my way. All right. I've already done some die cutting, so I'm going to set those aside to save a little time. Get my sheets out here. Okay. It's been a few days ago since I did this. I'm trying to get my bearings back together here. All right, we've got our designer series paper, which is 2 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. And then our basic white is 2 5/8 inches by 5 1/4 inch. And that's going to attach to that. And I don't think I got the right one here. Did I cut that wrong? It's 5 1/4. 2 5/8. That's right. Maybe this one's too big. No? Well, something's not right here. I'm already starting out messing up. Those are about the same. I need to cut this down. Did I? Okay, I didn't put a panel on the back side. I thought I had matted it onto white, but I didn't. All right, we're fine. Designer series paper, 2 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. It's going to go onto this panel. I've got a brand new bottle of glue today I'm opening. Start out fresh with no problems. And I'll go ahead and attach that. I love this suite of products. This is pretty. The Fern Flora. So many things you can make with it. So many ideas. All right, we're going to attach that to that front flap, leaving a small border going around it to all 4 sides. All right, and then we've got another designer series paper, which is 1 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. No, I've said that wrong. It's a 1 1/8 inch. I didn't think that sounded right to me after I said it. It's been a few days ago since I did this card, so I've got to jerk my memory back so I remember what I'm doing. I'm going to match that up with the top and the bottom of that other layer. So far, but there's more. All right. And the inside, it's 2 7/8 by 5 1/4. And got a sheet of designer series paper we're going to put on this edge, and that measures 1 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. Yep. So I'm going to attach this one down, but I'm not going to attach that one yet because I'm going to be stamping on the inside in case I mess it up, so I have able to turn it over. It does happen sometimes. So I'll just attach this small designer series paper on the side. And I want to make sure that we're straight with the other ones. It needs to go up just a little bit. Yeah. All right, I'm going to set my card aside because we're going to be doing some stamping and die cutting and all that good stuff. I'm using the Everyday Arches to cut off my vellum, and I'm using the number 6 die. That's the 6 from the largest. Grab that. Is that it? Yeah. So number 6 die of the arches, Everyday Arches. I've already die cut that, so you can see a little stitching going around it. And we'll put these back. Hope everybody's doing well. And I'm going to grab our card over here again. We can go ahead and attach that. I'm going to put my adhesive underneath here in the center. I'm not going to put it on the sides because I want that to be loose so it doesn't glue shut for me. And this is going to go centered, so I'm kind of getting an idea where I need to put my glue. And center that down. Trying to get that straight. And give it a press. And then I've die cut my leaves. And oh, I didn't show what stamp set we're using. Let me get back to that. The stamp set and dies. It's a bundle. And I have to get the dies out that I used. Even though I've already die cut them, I want to be able to show you what I used on my projects. So, there are the dies. Oh, and I think I might have them in another place here. All right, get my little flowers out. All right. I'll leave this one out and the flowers. On the center of the flowers. I think I die cut everything else already. I did a I got Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, and Peaceful Pine is our greenery. And I need, oh, I didn't do that one. That's another card. Okay, so we're going to stamp our sentiment. And going to use You're an Amazing Friend. Not sure if this is a butterfly or if it's a moth. It might be a moth. And also for you. And our little squiggly lines. All right. This is my scrap. That's my inside layer. All right, let's go ahead and start stamping. I'm going to use our Golden Glow to stamp the framework, but I'm going to use Peaceful Pine to stamp the sentiment. So let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment, and then I'll cut out the frame afterwards. Let me see if this fits this sideways. Yeah. These are our new stamp pads. Our new in colors are the only ones that the pads come in so far. I think next year they're going to be switching over. Oops, I did the wrong one. I don't want Thankful. I want Your Amazing Friend. Okay, no. What did I do with it? It's right here. I already had it out. Okay. You're an amazing friend. Okay. Then I'm going to grab our Golden Glow. I'm going to stamp the framework of that banner. And we're going to center that sentiment in the inside of this. Okay, we got that stamped. We're going to die cut in a little bit here. I want to add some of this design to the inside. What you call these. Kind of cool design though. One at the top and one at the bottom. All right, again, we're going to stamp the sentiment with the peaceful pine. And thankful for you. Clean that off in case I've got ink on there where I poofed up the first time. All right, ink right up with the peaceful pine. And we're going to stamp that right in the center there. All right, thankful for you. That goes on the inside of our card, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp our moth or butterfly, whichever he is. I'm going to use my black memento. And I'm going to use another new product that we have. It is our new shimmer brush. And this is a Golden Glow color. So when you first get it, you have a little, let me grab my little ring here that was on here, and I'll show you how they come to you. You've got to, well, there's a ring on here that you got to take off. And then that's how they ship it, so it doesn't leak any of the colors. And then it's got a push button on the side to push it, but be sure you shake it first before you start using it to distribute the glitter a little bit, or the shiny. But I'm going to go ahead and color this butterfly, moth, whatever it is, with the golden glow color. These are sort of like our Wink of Stella, but they're colored, I think, on that same idea. You've got a little glitter on the inside. Let me put that up so you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle or not. Very pretty. Okay, and then we need to do some die cutting. And I'm going to die cut my flowers. I've already cut out the berry burst ones and put those together, but I want to use, I don't know, I'm debating, do I want to go with the berry burst or do I want to stick with the Golden Glow? I think I might try the berry burst this time, and I won't have to die cut anything. But we do need to die cut this out. So I'm going to bring my mini machine over here. And the plates. plate 3 and 2 of the 2s plates. All right, so we're going to die cut the sentiment out with the banner, and I'm going to use my already used washi tape and still got some sticky in it. And I need to grab the die for the butterfly, moth, whichever it is. It's this one. And we'll cut those two out at the same time. And here comes Miss Squeaky. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And does anybody know if these are moths or if it's a butterfly? I think the big one that's in the bundle is a moth, but I was thinking this was a butterfly, but maybe I'm wrong. All right. Whoopsie. All right. Bring this back over. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the inside just to get it out of my way for now. And we're going to set that right next to that smaller DSP. I'm going to leave a little space in between the two. I'm not going to have them up against each other all the way. Just leave a little gap in between. You can see there's a little gap there. All right, so let's get back to assembling the front of our card. I'm going to start out with the old olive layer, and then I'm going to add the mossy meadow and now the peaceful pine. So I'm just kind of doing a dry fit to see where I want them to be. I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to start gluing them down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back side of each one just to hold them. Don't take a lot. And place that back down. And if you get ink or glue too much, it dries clear, so don't worry about that. A few drops of glue onto the leaves. And we'll place them down at an angle, going towards the left side. And our last one. It's a brand new bottle of glue, so I'm careful it doesn't all come out in a gush. And right about there, looks good. And then we're going to take our sentiment. Did I pop that up? No, I glued it directly down. We're just going to add glue to the one side of it. And place that down over our stems to kind of hide them a little bit. Okay. And then we've got our little flowers. These are berry burst. Glue on my fingers. I'm going to attach those. And maybe at the top of the large vine. And another one right there. And this one can go on the left side. Oh, that's too much glue. Bring my silicone mat over here, wipe some of that off. Like I said, it's a new bottle that's coming out fast. And I think I'm going to stick this guy right there, in that little gap there. All right. So very simple, kind of elegant looking, but we're not done. We're going to add some gems. And I think they might be in another package here. Oh, great. I just dropped them on the floor. All right. These are the dewdrop embellishments, and they come in that suite too. And this is in the May to August catalog that you've got. Oops, I forgot my butterfly. Let's got our butterfly on there. Or moth, whatever it is. And we're just going to put him in the corner of that arch, vellum arch. And then we're going to add some of these dewdrops. I'm going to use the green. And put one there. Another. I always do these in threes. I'm going to put two at the bottom of our sentiment label. Come on, little guy. And give it a press. Make him stay there. All right, so here's our first card. You're an amazing friend. And then it opens to say thankful for you. And like I said, you could add a layer at the back, and you could also add a layer to this inside flap, but I didn't do that. But you could. All right. Let me straighten up here a little bit, and we'll get on with our next one. I've got extra pieces here. I guess I'm not using them, so I'm just going to set those aside. All right. I got to grab that package that fell on the floor. I'll be right back. Could at least fallen on my side where I could reach it instead of making me get it. Dump everything out. Get started. Okay, this is using the same stamp set and bundle. It says sincere thanks, and you make the world a better place. With this one, I used the embossing folder that goes along with this suite. It's called Fern Flora 3D embossing folder. And I'm not sure that you can really see it. And I guess you can kind of see it in the camera. My finger's out of the way. All right, let's start out with our card base. And I hope I got my instructions out here too. Okay. It says sincere thanks. And then on the inside, you make the world a better place. And our cardstock is our thick weight, and it measures 7.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then it's scored at 4 1/4 inch. So we're going to burnish that fold line. And we're going to go landscape orientation. And then I've got our basic weight, which is 3 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I've already embossed that using our embossing folder. So there you can get a look at it. And I'm going to bring a scrap paper up here because we're going to use our blending brush. I'm going to add soft sea foam ink to that, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little to bring out the leaves a little bit. So tap off. And you can put as much or as little as you want. I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm just kind of picking out certain ones that I'm doing it, adding the ink to. It just highlights it a little bit more. All right, I think that's good. I don't want a lot. That was our soft sea foam. All right, we're done with the blending brush. Okay, we're going to attach this to our card front. I didn't put a mat underneath it. I'm just going to go white on white. And you want to make sure you get as close to the edges as possible, because when you emboss a layer, it tends to lift up on the edges. So I always try to get it right up against the edge of it. And it's going to go centered on that front flap. Okay. Very pretty. The camera doesn't do it justice. All right, and then next, we're going to add a strip of that same designer series paper. And this measures 1 inch by 5 3/8 inches. That's going to go on the inside of our card at the bottom area. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I want to order another pack of this paper. I don't like it that much. I only got 1 pack, but that way I won't worry about using it. But I'm going to run out if I have another package standing by. Might be a good time today to order, being free shipping. And remember, that runs through Saturday. All right, and then next I'm going to stamp that large leaf. And I'm going to use the Golden Glow. Ink that up really good. Get right in there and ink it up. Make sure you've got good coverage. And we'll stamp that onto my scrap of basic white. Okay, that looks good. And just trying to figure out what I want to do first here. Okay, I've already done some die cutting. This is the Mossy Meadow. I did this die with a leaf. And I need a pokey tool here to persuade that to come out. I feel like I'm forgetting to talk about something, but I think I covered all the bases. All right, and then I got little hang-ons in there to get those out. this one I cut out of, oh, this one is Peaceful Pine. This is Mossy Meadow. Peaceful Pine is one of my favorite colors too, of the new ones. Okay, that's the die for that. And we've got Old Olive. For the center one, or the larger one. All right, and I've already die cut this little squiggly out of soft seafoam. And I'm going to die cut some flowers this time. And centers. I thought I already cut these out, but I guess I didn't. I'm going to need this here. All right, let's grab our dies and start die cutting. So I'm going to want this large die for that. And stamp the large moth yet. And bring these dies back over so I can cut out my flowers. I thought I cut them out ahead of time, but I guess I didn't. So let's do some die cutting. And let me stamp that moth before I die cut anything. Basic black memento. There, okay. Now we're ready to die cut. All right, and then the moth. All right, we'll run this through and then we'll come back and do our flowers. And our moth. And now we're going to cut our flowers. So I'm going to do 3 of each. I'm going to do the berry burst and then the golden glow. And I'm going to set that there for a moment. Pop these all out. Yellow. Down at that one. We need a white one. And well, it's being silly. Usually you can bounce them out of there just by throwing it on your table. All right, we're going to do this one. Oh, I've got some berry burst hanging on there. And I want a scrap of white. Yeah, I've got one hanging on there. So we're going to have 6 flowers on this card. And I see something I missed. I need to stamp a flower too here. Those aside. Let me stamp a flower. This one. I can't really see it on camera that well. And bring over my white paper here. And I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine stamp a flower with, because I want my stems to be the green. And I'm going to block in your view here. My nose is itching. That mean I'm going to kiss a fool or something? I think that's what the old wives' tale was. You're going to kiss a fool if your nose is itching. All right, and we need that die. I think it's this one. Yep. And I'm going to attach that. All right, getting that centered onto my flower without cutting off any part I don't want to. And I think I've got what we need. All right. I'm going to start attaching my layers here first. We're going to do a dry fit placing. Well, maybe I didn't use that long one. I think I just used the too small. Well, I kind of want it in there. And this one. And we're not going to use this one. We're going to save that for another time. And this goes tucked up underneath. Oh, I did use that. Let's put this one over here. All right, so we're going to start attaching. We'll start with our greenery. Maybe my silicone mat over here so I don't get glue all over everything. I'm just going to put a few dabs. Trying to pick it up here. And a little bit on this one. Oops, that moved on me. Can I scooch it in? Yeah. And then this one. I like this curly hue, and I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's cute. Just a little sideways. And then we're going to attach our stamped image that I die cut of our leaf. It's going to go on there. And I'm putting it kind of an angle. All right, and then we're going to do some coloring. I'm going to bring that shimmer brush back over here and color parts of the moth. I'm not going to color it all in. I'm just going to kind of just highlight some areas. Okay, we'll set him aside for a moment. We're going to bring our blending pens. Stampin' pens. And I'm going to color using the light berry burst to start with. And we're just going to color our flowers. It's pretty quiet today. Even the traffic is quiet. Now watch it all start roaring once I said that. And the buds, we're going to do those with the dark berry burst. Okay, dark berry burst to give it some shadowing. And the little buds, we're going to do with the dark berry burst. And I think I got all those. And now we're going to use our old olive to do the leaves. And this is the light. My stomach feels like it's going to growl any minute here. So you hear a big old roar, just ignore it. And a couple more here. And I'm going to come back with the dark olive and do some shading. All right, that looks good. We're going to place this on dimensionals. And I think 200 is good enough. And we'll go ahead and attach that. going to go right next to that other flower. And our moth can go up here on the big flower or big leaf. And I'm going to put them right about there. All right, now we're going to assemble our flowers. It kind of look funny until you start putting them together. There's two different sizes of the regular flowers. I think that goes with that one. This one goes with this one. Oops, no. I think I got those turned around. That goes with that one, that with that one. And I'm just going to make a little blue puddle. And let's see. We're just going to put a little bit in the center of that smaller layer. And just press that onto our other petal. And same with the small one. Just want a little bit in the center of that. Don't need to go hog wild here. And this one, sits at the bottom of this flower. All right, and then we've got our centers. Oh, I've got more flowers put together here. I'm using both colors. Okay, we'll start with this. All right, and then we've got some centers. We're going to put the Golden Glow onto the Berry Burst ones. Oops, I forgot one flower here. Got to finish up here. All right, now I can do the centers. We're going to do, those are going to have the white ones. This is going to have the Golden Glow. So I'll pop those three out of there. Turn those over. And we'll dip them in our glue. It's going to go right in the center of that Berry Burst flower. And where's my... Okay, it's right there. Thought I misplaced it. And need our white ones out here. Pop those out of the die. The die's hard to hang on to, it's so little. And I need a bit more glue. And of course, they all are upside down. Turn them over. All right, I'm going to start with the larger one. Goes in the center of the Golden Glow. last but not least, all right, now we can start putting these onto our card. I'm going to start out with the larger berry burst. Now, let's go ahead and use this glue over here we've got. All right, and trying to decide where I want to put that. I guess I put it right on that leaf. And a large golden glow one. I'm going to put here on this vine. And then another berry burst can go right down here. This one goes up here. And we've got, oops, stick to my finger. Stay there. Oops, I got glue on my finger, so everything's sticking to me. And this one, we're going to save that because we're going to put our sentiment on there first. And we're going to be doing some heat embossing. Let's grab some paper out of here. And I'm going to use a scrap of our soft seafoam. And I'm going to die cut the banner out of that using well, what did I do with it? Oh, right here. The Stylish Shapes dies. I'm using a small banner. And find it in here. There it is. Using this one. It's this one right here. You can see it better. And then machine back over here so I can die cut this. About there. You could stamp your sentiment on there first and heat emboss it and all that stuff that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to die cut the banner out first and then do the heat embossing afterwards. And I did one with white embossing powder, but I don't know if I like that, if I want the bronze. On my original, I used the bronze. I think I kind of like that better. Probably see it better. So we're going to do that. Bring my scrap paper out here again. And I think I've settled on the bronze. I could do black too. Oh, I guess it's copper. Let's bring all our goodies out here. I'm going to use my embossing buddy to get rid of any static cling on there. Oils from our hands and such. And it's a sincere thanks. Little stamp. Tiny. my Versamarking. I'm going to stamp it off to the right side a little bit. Cover up our Versamark pad so we don't get embossing powder in there. And I want to make sure I got a good coverage of embossing powder on there. Tap, tap, tap to get rid of any excess. And I've got a brush here. I'm going to brush off that little speck on the side. So I think that looks pretty good. We'll dump that back into our jar. I'm still using my old embossing powder. I haven't ordered the new yet, which is the Wow. Good morning, Pat. I guess maybe it's afternoon now, isn't it? Glad to have you here. You're in Alabama? Oh, I'm glad you like my instructions. Sometimes I kind of get fumble mouth and can't spit it out right. All right, we're going to heat emboss this. I've got my heat gun here. How's the weather in Alabama today? I'm just going to heat emboss this. And if I can get a little hotter here before we start. Yeah, I've got quite a few details on this, but you wouldn't have to put all those on. Okay, you're very hot in Alabama. Yeah, us too. We're into triple digit heat index. I think the regular temperature is like 91, I think that's what we're running. But with the humidity and stuff, it's got it up in the hundreds. So not real comfortable. We try to get everything done outside in the mornings, but sometimes that's not possible. In fact, my husband's out in the garage working right now, so he'll be coming in here in a little bit. He doesn't stay out too long for the day. Okay, this is going to go up on dimensionals on the one side, and then just our basic glue on the left side. So our right side is the dimensional. And on the right side, on the left side, we're going to put just our adhesive. And then we're going to place that down over the edge of our flower a little bit. And there goes my phone again. I didn't mute it. And I think I missed my spot for glue there. So I'm going to lift this up and just add a little to my flower. Sit straight. It's still not attaching. There, I guess I just had to hold it for a second. Okay. Sincere thanks. And we're going to add a bow that I've already made from my linen thread. That's going to attach right here. And I'm going to use my mini glue dots. I like using the ones that are in the paper pumpkin kits. They're a little smaller than our regular mini glue dots are. Especially when I've got small twine or whatever, or like this linen thread. Don't want the adhesive sticking out, getting everything sticky. And even that doesn't really go up underneath it very well, but it feels okay. All right, then next we have some of those gems again, and using the same ones that are in that suite, the dewdrops embellishments. And I'm going to use the clear ones this time. It'll look like water droplets. Put one down here, and then two small ones. We'll put one there, and the other one we'll put down in this area somewhere. All right, I got everybody on here. Yeah, looks good. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside, which says, "You make the world a better place." And I just did black memento ink for our sentiment. Oh, you're very welcome, Pat. Thank you for being here. Yeah, heat embossing always fascinates me. It never gets old. Just watching it melt is keeps me mesmerized. All right, you make the world a better place on the inside. So I see you're watching me on YouTube, Pat. Be sure that you like and subscribe to my channel and click that little bell and you'll know when I go live. So I'd appreciate that. It gives me more viewers. I'm trying to raise up my followers. All right. And I think I'm going to use that shimmer brush again. I'm going to dab the inside of my flowers here a little bit. Instead of the white, I want a little more color. All right, that looks good. Okay, so card number 2, sincere thanks. And then it opens and you make the world a better place. All right, hope you enjoyed that. And we'll get on with the next card after I get things out of my way here. The next one is a real simple, fast card, so it shouldn't take us very long. Get some things out of the way here, make the moon. Here's the card. Stamp pad out of the way. Okay, it's a thinking of you card using that same designer series paper. And you're on my mind and in my heart on the inside. And the stamp sets that I use for these, it comes from the Friendly Foliage. I'm using the thinking of you on the outside, and then you're on my mind and in my heart on the inside. Or you could make it a get well card. All right. My card bases are thick white, measuring 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored in the center at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that card line. Some embossing powder. All right, we're going to go portrait style. And using that same designer series paper, the Fern Flora DSP. And I'm using this pattern, which measures, my instructions here. In fact, let me tell you a little bit about this card. I cased it from our catalog. And see, our catalogs are even good for giving us ideas. So I think it was on page 35. Yes, page 35 is our Fern Flora Suite. Well, the suite is called Moonlit Flora, is the suite name. And I cased this card for the last one. Okay, I didn't do this one from there. I did this one. So it's kind of similar, but a little bit different. They used a small banner. I used a larger banner. And otherwise, I think it's pretty compatible, the same. All right, and let's get back to our card. All right, we've got our thick white 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, scored at 4 1/4. No, scored at 5 1/2. I'm looking at the wrong instructions here. Oh, because I didn't take them off of there. That's why I'm confused. Looking at the instructions from the last one. Wait, that don't sound right. All right, thinking of you. Thick white 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Our designer series paper, the larger one, is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's going to sit on the front of our card. And then another designer series paper is 3 by 4 1/4 inch, and that's going to sit in that center. So very simple. Let's go ahead and start putting it together. And place that down centered. And this is going to go in the center of that one. So we'll put our glue on the back side. And I'm going to make sure I've got it going the right direction. And keeping a even edge all around it. And straight, which that is awful challenging for me to keep things straight. And I think that looks good. All right, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is thinking of you, onto our basic white. Thinking of you. I'm going to stamp that using our peaceful pine again. See, I think that is my favorite color of all of them. Well, I like the hydrangea hue too, but I use the peaceful pine, I think, more. Thinking of you. And I'm not using a die for this. I'm just going to fussy cut this out. So I'll grab my paper snips over here. And I'm just going to follow along the edge of the wording. Just leave a small white edge around it. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Can't talk and fussy cut at the same time. I got to concentrate. All right, and this is going to go up on dimensionals. I'm going to put one at each side. I'm going to have to cut a smaller sliver there for that other side. Oh, you haven't gotten your ink colors yet? The new ink pads? I like the new ink pads too. They're a lot easier to open, and sometimes it can be a struggle getting the other ones open, especially if somebody has arthritis pretty bad. Okay, I'm not going to attach that yet. I'm going to grab my, this is my Baker's Twine Essential Pack, the 5 colors. And I'm going to use the white. And I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a couple times. Okay, everything's sticking. And I'm going to just twist it into a figure 8 kind of thing. Oops, came undone. Well, it's not cooperating with me. I've got fumble fingers here. This is going to go at the top left-hand corner. And I'm just going to use, I guess I'll use my Stampin' Seal. Put a little dot of glue down there to hold it in place. Well, And then we're going to place our sentiment over the top of that. Thinking of you. Spoke too soon about it being quiet. We've got a motorcycle making racket out there. All right, so how simple is that? You could put some gems on there too if you wanted to, but I've got enough sparkle going on. I am going to bring my shimmer brush, and I'm going to give a little bling to our flowers. So just kind of highlight some of them. Just to add a little something. Well, don't really need to do all of them, but once I start, I can't stop. All right, that's good. Okay, thinking of you on the outside, and on the inside, what did I stamp? You're on my mind and in my heart. Right there. And like I said, these all come from the friendly foliage. And my piece of pine back over here. We'll stamp the inside sentiment and call it done. All right. You're on my mind and in my heart. I like that sentiment. Yes, it is very simple. Sometimes we need simple and fast. I kind of get carried away with some of my cards when I keep doing all those die cuts, like the last card and the one before that are a little more intense than what this was. But I like all of them. Yeah, you could do this. It's simple with any paper that you have. So card base 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Designer series paper. This larger one is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And this one is 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So very simple, but kind of elegant. This paper does all the work. Truly it does. Okay, so let's bring our cards back over here. Oops. So this was a fun fold. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. And I guess this is sort of a fun fold too, where it's cut different than what the card fronts usually are. And it says here, thanks, you make the world a better place. And then the last one, the simple one, thinking of you. You're on my mind and in my heart. Okay, so those are our 3 cards for today. I'll be back next week, same time, same channels. And that will be, what is next week's date? It's hard to believe that we're halfway through the month almost. All right, next week will be June 18th, 2026, 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock or 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock Mountain, and 9 o'clock Pacific time. I have a hard time with pattern paper too. I don't want to use it. But I've kind of been forcing myself to go ahead and use it. Don't hang on to it. Oh, thank you, Pat, for being here. Thank you for the nice compliment. So until next week, y'all have a good rest of your week. I hope you'll get in some time for yourself to be able to do a little crafting, whatever your passion is, cards or scrapbooking or just paper crafts in general. I have started up a new scrapbooking class that I've been holding. We had one last month, and I'm going to have another one in August. We're going to do it like every other month, where we just order our scrapbooking kits, and then we all get together, and we've all got different ones, so we get to see what everybody's working on, and then we just sit and visit and put them together. I know last class was a long one. It was like 4 hours long. I wasn't expecting that, so I may have to figure out how to shorten it a little bit. Okay, until next week. Bye-bye. Thanks.